Good morning. Am I ready for me? Am I ready for me? Like it's crazy. Am I ready for me? I'm chopping garlic, and the first thing is I have 16 baby bulb garlics, and the first one I grab in to cut off, not even thinking of anything. My eyes hurt. Just woke up this morning, found some doctor's papers that I have to fill out, and I'm not sure if I got the right one. I need to call the SAC, but I'm bipolar. I must be talking about 10 things. So let's get back to the garlic. Otherwise, I would have forgot. Then I'd be a true bipolar. When it starts everything and finishes nothing. So I cut up the garlic. And then I start to think the garlic is the wolf. I says, okay, what's he scaring away? Why is he trying to scare Little Red Riding Hood? Or why is he hanging out in the forest? And then I thought of my heart. But not only did I think of my heart, okay, because I asked myself what I can do with my heart if I multiply it, because everything is multiplied. Everything is more than one face. Now, I didn't want to get rid of this, but what I'm going to do to you next is this. I'm going to go here and into my pictures and show you the extra work that I did with this. Just give me 1 second. Just one more second. So we're going to continue on with this. See the way this heart, seems like everything goes through the heart, is split up. Now we're going to go to the next picture, which is over here. Have you ever thought that although we see 3 lines, have we ever thought that there's one that overlaps? Imagine if this side had 2 of them and this side had 2 of them, they'd overlap each other. So this one in its own would be 1, 2, 3 points. And this one in its own would be 1, 2, 3 points. That would make 6 points, right? Then we have, here's my jack. Here's the J, and it connects to here. Here's the area. It creates CD in this area. And then this area creates CD. And in this area down below, it creates the V. And this is only from the J and J letter. See, it goes up, it goes down. Inside, you see the T letter and the I letter. 1 J, or just a 10, would be a minus. 2 J's, J and J 20, would be a plus. So J is a minus, T is a plus. So then when I show you the numerological system of 10, it's 9 minus 1, 8. It's 5 minus 1, 4. It's 3 minus 1, 2. It's 2, 4, and 8. There is no 1, 5, and 9 because 1, 5, and 9 is 2, 4, and 8. There's a 2 here. So it should say 2, 4, 7. This should say 2, 4, 8. And this should say 3, 6, 8. Because the 1 is only the center that does not exist. And it came from chopping the garlic, because I was thinking of the wolf, that's number 56, which stands for number 7. Number 7, which is created from 15, 1 times 5, 1 plus 5, is created from Mars. And the opposite of 56 is 21. And 21 comes from 98, which is the high sky, because 5 and 2 and 6 and 1 is 7 and 7, because 9 minus 2 and 8 minus 1, because 5 and 6 go together as the opposition on the dice, and it creates the only letters that create the F letter, coming out to 6 and 5. Yo, they say 11. Yo, it's a game of craps. Remember, if this world was broken telephone, then it really broke up. But I'm telling you that this is what I see. That means I'm putting broken telephone together the way I see it. You put it together the way you see it. And let's just all be happy and stay in our own little zone and put the world together the way we see it. Now, do we want to know the truth? Then we have to have the open mind. Right? We have to have the open mind. Do you see this is an added in? This is an added in. We can hang 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, right? But inside is another J, and inside is another J, and the only way to connect them together is with W. 23, 10, 33, 23, 10, 33, 23, 11.5, 21.5, memory, 215 memory. What do you want? Is this your shin that creates your light? It is the 3-headed shin or the 4-headed shin. I have to think about it, but let's go back to J where J is minus. Let's go back to where J is minus. Okay, if J was minus, okay, then 6 and 4, 10. Okay, is that a 10? There is no life inside this 4. And there is no life inside this 6. But this is not a 6. This 6 is actually a 4 because this inside, that's the half-life. Let's get rid of 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? You think this is, see, this is 2 and 7, right? This is 2 and 7, right? This is 3 and 6. Let's get rid of creation. Why is this 2 and 7? And this one over here, where is it? You see this one over here? Let's go to this one over here. This one is 6 and 3, right? If this is 6 and 3 and we got rid of 1, it would have to be 6 and 2, would it not? Do you understand what I'm saying? This here is on 2 sides. This takes up 3 and this takes up 3. 3, 6, okay? This one, okay, over here, takes up only 1. That's your 7. The difference between this one is this, right? Is 3, 6, 9, 12. This is 2 and 2 is 4. This is 4 and this is 12. Why? Because of the inventors. The inventors of the world, the greatest people that invented things, and I'm calling them great because I'm using what I like, what I see, and it's strong for me, so it's great for me. Rubik's Cube. Call it what you want. 3 colors in this corner, or just 3 areas, and 2 areas over here. So I take this and I base it on the 6, and I see 3, 6, 9, 12, and 2 and 2 is 4. But remember, there's a point to all these matters. Here there's a side which can create the T, but here's a point that can create your shin or whatever else you want to take it to. So what we're going to get to next is, I'm sorry to mention your name, but I forget. I'm going to have to make this camera smaller. Something about John. Yes, I'm not sure if you wanted me to mention your name, but something about John. Thought I lost my camera for a minute. So, something about John. I told John, I said to John, I mentioned to John, I was looking at one of John's videos. John makes some really unique videos. He's pretty precise, and you can't go wrong. That 3 pyramids with the 1 stick and the 2 columns and the 3 columns. Remember, in between each column is a space. That means when you go to column number 1 at the top, it doesn't even count. That's your column that is the leader. That is the flow of where the river is. The column that is in the second that goes 2 and then 3. In between 2 is a 1 void, and in between 3 is a 2 void because you can't walk into walls. You walk through and in between the columns. This and this, does it look all beautiful to you? Does it look dandy? Does it look perfect? It's not. This is not 2 squares. In reality, if they are, they're not the same size. How can they be the same size? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. We get to the middle. 4, 5, 6. Great. Now let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, this is 6 wide. See this? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But when you count it the other way, it's 6 on the inside and 1 and 1 on the outside. That's 8. This becomes 6 and 8 in diameters. Okay? You can't actually turn these. Can you turn these even to be perfect? So I figured I was going to get out a ruler. So let me get out my ruler. Now is a small explanation. Is that this box, the flat one, is 1 3/16, 3, 7. This box on this angle is 1 1/8. They're not the same size. When you measure across this way or this way, you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks. But when you measure across this way, and I'm going to try and bring the camera and see if I can get a little bit more light, or do I have too much light? Okay, will that show the lines a little bit better? We count this way. I count 1. I count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 boxes this way. There's only 6 boxes this way. Okay, so when I turn this, this will come like a picture frame. 1, 3, 7. Now, when we show you this over here, the racetrack, they count a mile and an eighth. They count the mile and an eighth, or the eighth of a mile, and they use the 1/5 second clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one is to 8. 5 and 8 are in the same area. This one is the 16th mile. They don't even count these. The only time they say the 16th is when it's the 16th to go in the race, and they're saying it's 1/16 of a mile to go, or the last 8th mile. When you hear this, 1 and 6 is the totality of the half-life, and this is the full life. We only need say one spirit. We only say one spirit. One is all. The reality of all and 6 is right over here. All ones, and in the center, it spins 6 of them, 4 and 2. You can turn 3 here and 3 here, but you can't turn 4 here. You understand? You can turn this. There's one here. There's one here that you're turning. This one you're turning over on itself. One here. This one you turn over on itself. So although you turn all 9, right, the center one never switches its position. So there's a calculation of mathematical understanding for that. Okay, so when I switch the center one, I turn 4 on the outside around. The same way I turn 4 on the outside around, the 5th one stays. I turn 4 on the outside around, but it's the 5th one that turns everything. 5 and 4, number in the sun. 4 corners, 4 on the inside, 1 on the inside. 4, 1, 4, marking of the DNA stamp. So we're going to get back to this little piece of paper over here. The 1/16 becomes the 1, and 16 equals 7, the gematria gateway. 7 plus 1 equals to 8, and we end up at 1 again. Now we're going to add 1 and 7, 1 and 7, and 1 equals to 9. Or do we take it away? 1 and 7 minus 1 equals 6. Irregardless, it becomes 61 and 67. It becomes 128, the spirit, inside the Venus cycle of Neptune. The water world and the earth. The water and the earth. The water is life. The water comes to the earth and brings life from a seed that awaits it. 1/8 of a mile spirit, 1 and 8 equals 9. Or 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 and 9, 7 by 9 is 63, creation. If we went to 6 or 9 is 54, creation inside the sun. The one spirit of the half-life of the gates of 6, the one spirit of the moon. The gates of the half-life, okay, of the 9 lives of the cat. Birth inside angel residency, A and R, Ra, R-A-H. R-A-H, right over here. You have no choice. Why R-A-H? Because the R letter, okay, is the 18th letter. 2 letters that make up 1 and 8 is A and H. It is the hare, it is the rabbit of communication of the 9 lives of the cat. This will create 15 over here, 13 over here. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 will become 76. 6 times 8 will become 62. And now you have the Venus of the half-life birth, 6 and 2. 62 and 13 is 75. 62 minus 13 is 59, living on the farm. The markings on a ruler, they show me that 0 has the high mark, and then 1 has the high mark again, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Inside 7 is the gateway. Inside 1, 5, and 9 is the spirit. Inside of 3 is the dividing of the beta world. The 2 sides of the beta world. In the game of craps, 1 and 2 is shot. They go, that's crap, right? But if you throw 5 and 6, it's any crap. Any crap. 11, 12, 2, 3, any crap. And when you hit the 2, it pays 30 to 1 creation. 1 and 1 is 2. 6 blocks and 8 blocks. 3 times 2, 4 times. 3 times 2, 4 times 2. 3 and 4. DC creation. This creates the 48, 62 queen, recreates 20, and then it goes from 20 to 26, 20 to 26, 20 to 26. All zeros equal to 6 becomes 26, or because we have 26 taken, we go down to 14. The 14th letter becomes the N. Why did I do this? 6 times 8, 6 plus 8. This equals to 48. 48 plus 14 equals to 62. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 equals to 12 and 8, 20. All zeros equal 6. 20 becomes 26. And then once you get 26, we have the same number we started, and it's all around in a circle. It's 2 Venus, where the 9 life of the birth come, and it's 6 Saturn, where it's played with the number of Uranus, number 94, because that's the number of the numerological count of the word Uranus. And it plays in position inside magic square, inside the Saturn position, where Saturn replaces Pluto, where Pluto moves over to the Venus position, position number 2, and Pluto is now joined by Uranus. So instead of 7 and 9 together, it's 2 and 6 together. So you become 26 becomes 46. The rotation on the equator becomes 4 times 6, 4 plus 6, 24 and 10. That was the score of the Super Bowl. 24 is the 9 lives of the cat, and 10 is the star system, which becomes 16 because all zeros equal 6, becomes the 9 lives of the 1 zeros equal 6 becomes 16, and we're rounding back to the 1/16 to the 1/6 of the half life. 1 and 6. So if this is replaced, and this becomes actually nothing, and we can't even use this area, because take -1 from 1, and there is nothing over here. It's just a hole. So now all we have is like the letter P. We only have 8 over here, but we don't need the second one. That's a hole. So there's actually 7. And the only numbers that are left is these 2, down to this one, down to this one, down to this one. That's it. Those are the letters left. This one is gone, and this one is gone. And then we have to take away this one, because this one also has the 1 inside of it. And this one is the gateway. So really what we're left with is 4, 8, 6, and 2, which is a box. And we have a box around 5. Since 6 is the half-life, it's not actually 6, it's 4. So it's 4 and 4. Since 8 is actually represented inside the 1, 8 actually becomes the sky, because there's nothing here. See the 8 voids? This is a face just like this. There's 9 places here. There's only 1 showing. That means there's 8 voids. That means 8 and 1. That means 8 and 1 are inside of each other, and they're 1, Holy Ghost. Take this one away. Since this one is the gateway, you actually have this one, and this one over here. Plus 5. It's almost like the candle of Shin. The left-sided Shin or the right-sided Shin, the gateway of the birth. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching.